You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver.
What the hell is that?
Podcast.
I'm worried that he's on
fine.
his way to my house right now with something to cudgel me with.
I hope to God
Listen,
that's
Beef.
the case.
I'm a ranged character, Beef. I'm not a melee character, so I don't even have to get out of the car.
This
That's
guy
fair.
knows
No
what's
cudgeling.
up. This guy knows what's up.
Shut up, Bard.
We start this wrestling podcast.
It started. It's going.
All right, well, why don't all of you complainatrons, not you, Poot,
Thank you.
shut up, and let's go. Here we go.
I didn't complain.
Everything old is new again because we're starting over. Not from scratch, but from 200, we start over. 201 is now and here today, and when you hear this episode is when it'll be released. The same with the 200th episode. When you listen to that one, that's when it's out. So if you're wondering when you listen to this one, where's the 200th episode? It's already out by the time this is out. So if you're asking questions, that's on you for being stupid. Learn how to count. I'm all fired up. Beef did this. You can thank him. If I insult any fans, all two of you, Pat or Ryuk, not Dave, because apparently you don't do shit for us anymore, Dave. So all two fans of ours, Pat and Ryuk, if I insult either one of you, it's Beef's fault. Feel free to send him an email with a picture of your taint, because he did this to you, not me. Welcome to the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast. I'm angry as all hell Ransom, because Beef, the legend, is here and did this to me. Poot the Bard is here and is gentle and delightful and sunny, happy time as always.
Yay.
If you hear a Office or Scrubs or some other type of sitcom reference, you know Tiger Bomb Tom is here, because damn it all, isn't he gonna fucking belt one of those things out every 2 seconds? Sorry, not sorry, Tom. Beef did this. If you have complaints, send them to him. What did I tell you earlier? He did this, not me, not my fault. I was happy. He came in, eyebrows peaked, ruined my day. Talkie jowls.
To be fair, it's actually my fault.
If we can be
Well,
honest,
then I'm not,
kind of
I'm
like
not sorry. Fuck you too.
this is like Bart Simpson swinging his arms around, and going, "I'm gonna start walking forward, and if you run into my hands, that's on you."
Yeah.
Look what God did to us, man.
God didn't do this. You
Ransom
did.
No, Beef did.
Anyway.
I better not hear one goddamn Big Lebowski quote from you tonight, then, at all.
Beef did it.
We already did it. We already did. I said, Tom,
Can we-
please.
Are we okay?
What day is this?
Take two. Welcome to the Pittsburgh Piledriver. Take
No!
three. Take
Failed.
three.
I already did it. No, I already did it. Stop. Stop it.
Take four. Welcome to the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast, everybody. My name is Pete the Legend. Let's talk
Thanks,
about
everybody. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
I thought,
What
by the way, wait. Let's back up a couple seconds. Did you say this is the Pittsburgh Piledriver Bakery? That's what I fucking heard from you. The Pittsburgh Piledriver Bakery. Let's try take four. And I'm like,
If I did,
serving
I
up
am
knuckle donuts, bitch.
missing
Take the
some
croissant out of your
donuts.
mouth and let's talk about wrestling and stop trying to do the intro. That's the one of that's really, let's be honest, half of what I have, because it's not even a whole thing of mine, because half the time it's interrupted by one of you ingrates, not you Poots.
Thank you.
And I used to have a stinger until fucking everybody decided they wanted to chime in on that. Sometimes you Poot.
Once in a while.
So yeah, can we talk about wrestling? I don't even know what's happened. Somebody gave somebody a pile driver one time.
The Graps.
Hey, Dominic Mysterio run a championship.
Look, everybody. Ransom, who only has two things, only does two things, is bringing an announcement to the table. I'm kidding. I'm making that point because you make some great points and you bring some great things for a discussion, you stupid mook. Now calm down, have a beard, take a shot, take a Xanax.
Get off your roof. Put down the metal rod.
Please don't get struck by lightning, because you know what's going to happen. You're going to get struck by lightning.
safe open so I can load up my shotgun.
You're
Coming
going
for so many of you.
You're gonna survive, and it's
The day you actually come here is when I'll be surprised. and
easy with the threats, you mooks. You're
I
gonna
meant
get
to
struck
tell
by
you, I'm not
lightning.
coming to SummerSlam.
you never were in the first place. Let's be honest.
My
So
head
wasn't.
hurts.
Beef.
Tuck it easy,
Beef.
Tom.
Anyway,
Beef.
Dom Mysterio
I'm
is
coming
The
to
Rock. Dom Mysterio is The Rock. Discuss.
Dom Mysterio
No,
is
he's not.
Wait,
What?
Dom
He's the
Mysterio is
what?
The Rock?
Yeah.
Why? Why?
All
Why are
right,
you
so
making
I can't
declarative
take-
statements that are fucking wildly incorrect?
Well, we'll see.
Is he having his boobs done?
I can't-
He's not Samoan. He's
Isn't
not
he
the
though?
greatest.
He's close.
Hey, Beef. Let's ask a question to you, but let's all talk through your answer because we don't really care what you think. Anyway.
He's much greasier than The Rock.
So I can't take total credit for this. Most of this, kind of brought this to my attention. I'm like, that's a great
You say
fucking
mimosa?
salient point. I did,
Ooh.
because I'm not going to use his. I'm going to use his kayfabe name because that's what we do around here. We use kayfabe. Anyhow,
Kiwi Jeff.
So Dominic Mysterio is The
I'm
Rock.
sorry. I literally just heard the sound of Beef's brain rebooting in real time.
There was like the wheels. It's like on the highway and like a deer runs across and everybody screeches their wheels and oh god, all the death. Anyway, Dominic Mysterio is The Rock. Here's why.
Show your
He
work.
came in. Yep, I am. He came in as a second generation talent. Obviously, The Rock was a third, but we're not going to get into that. And he came in as a babyface, right? Came in as a schmaltzy babyface, and they're like, "This is going to work because he's the son of Rey Mysterio. How can this not work?" Okay, so it fails. It goes up in fucking flames, and everybody hates Dominic Mysterio. Great. So we put him with this heel group that's lighting up the ranks. And are they though?
Yeah.
And then they saddle him with a mid-card title. Maybe one of the best mid-card titles, if you ask me, in the North American title. And like now we're like in that like Rock in the Nation kind of phase thing. I'm not saying that he has the charisma of Dwayne Johnson because I think that very few have that. LA Knight. I think that their career trajectories are eerily similar. And yes, I'm aware that Dominic Mysterio is more or less a comedy character, but you also can't deny that dude's getting fucking heat. Whenever you're getting chance on an opposing wrestling show, you're doing something right. So yeah, he might be comedy for now, but again, I'm not trying to paint with this fucking brush all night, but like The Rock had an awful lot of comedy in his shtick.
Enlighten me real quick. What chance was he getting on the other show?
I think whenever Buddy Murphy was wrestling, Dom, they were chanting like, something about Dom or something.
All right. Like they were okay. To be fair though, the only reason is because Buddy Matthews is doing the horizontal tango with Mommy.
Yeah,
right?
I get it. I understand that, but still, I still make my case that he is absolutely the top heat getter in the company. Roman Reigns isn't getting that kind of heat because there are these weird fucking like pockets of like tribalists that are like, we acknowledge you, tribal chief. Like, okay, that's fucking weird, but all right. So like, right now, even Gunther's getting cheered. No one is getting heat like Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, but is it go away heat though?
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely
not.
I don't go for the whole like I don't really I don't want to say it, but I don't want to, for lack of better terms, believe in go away heat. Heat is heat. Like I
would tend to agree with that as well.
Yeah, like it's so
If people hate you, you're doing your job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like now, I mean, there's a difference in like I just don't care about this wrestler. Like, because I mean, I've had that before. Like when like way back whenever Rusev was a heel, before all the Rusev Day stuff or whatever. Like it was just okay. I don't care about this because it was stereotypical. Like I'm a foreign language speaking heel. Hate me. Just because I'm not USA.
Right, but people
Like-
don't boo that though. People just don't react. People are reacting to Dominic Mysterio.
If I may,
Yeah, go
to set a new meta and to like reprogram my brain a bit in the way I think about this, can we safely say then that the new go away heat is no reaction? Like that's where it
Absolutely,
defaults
absolutely.
nowadays, because it wasn't
Yeah.
that.
I think so.
It was not always that way.
Right. Yeah.
I would say that go away heat is no reaction, or when the crowd gets into chants that have absolutely nothing to do with the match.
Oh, beach
Or
ball
fucking
mania.
beach balls. Yep,
Yeah,
beach
beach
balls
ball
come out.
mania.
Yeah, like
yep.
if Dominic Mysterio is out there wrestling and they're chanting for Michael Cole or JBL,
Oh God.
you know, or some other random thing that has nothing to do with the match. I think that's worse than no reaction, because at that point the crowd is so bored
They don't
they
give
would
a
rather
yeah.
chant random stuff than be bothered to even just sit there quietly and not care.
Right.
Right.
But
Yeah.
somehow the crowd, like somehow they've struck a chord with this stupid fucking cheesy fucking I did time for 24 hours. The crowd is eating it up.
Defeat
And
his face.
crowd loves to hate him. The fact that he's starting to look like Eddie,
love it.
everything is just
Yeah.
going his way. And again, I am not saying that Dominic Mysterio is going to be world champion in 2023 or 2024. I'm saying that he is on a trajectory that has been placed before one other who had tremendous success. Now, Dominic Mysterio has a lot to work on because he is a second generation talent of a bona fide legend fucking Mount Rushmore Hall of Fame luchador. Like when you say the word luchador in America, you think of Rey Mysterio Jr. I don't care who else you think of. Rey Mysterio is one of the first names, if not the first name that comes to mind. So Dominic Mysterio has a hill to climb because fucking Rocky Johnson was not that. Like Rocky Johnson was a guy who was a good hand, and that's it. So yes, and obviously he's got to get better in the ring. But again, what they're doing with him right now is perfect. Little fucking sprinkles of him every now and again.
Okay.
What?
No, not you, the Weather Channel.
Oh,
Oh.
little fucking sprinkles of him in matches.
I got a
Having him.
text. Never mind.
No,
No, it's okay.
I
Go
want
on.
to know. I don't mean to stop you, Beef, but I gotta hear
No,
this.
you're good. I don't want to hear my buddy getting swept up by a fucking tornado.
Yeah.
No, it's not even that. I got a text message from the Weather Channel at 8:23 p.m. that says there's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for my area until 8:22 p.m. Thanks, man. That would have been
Yep.
great to know, dummies.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
damn.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
but you get my point. And so honestly, okay, I'm bummed that Wesley lost the title, and they were setting up for Wesley versus Ali at Great America Bash, which
Wesley, Ollie.
was going to be a fucking barn burner. Fine, that sucks. It does. But honestly, I think that the North American title will look good on Dom, and I think that adds another fucking piece to the puzzle of the
Questions?
Judgment Day.
Questions.
I have answers.
Where's the Judgment Day currently at? What brand?
Raw.
Raw. So,
But they
Are
have
they-
been on
no.
NXT. They have been on NXT the last 3 weeks. I think 2 weeks. You asked a question, I was answering you.
yeah, okay. Fair point. So are they going to be both on? Are they going to be continuing to be both on Raw and NXT? Because while I don't have an issue with Dom holding a mid-card title, that's not a problem. If this is going to be an NXT belt that is not defended on NXT or doesn't show up on NXT, then that kind of becomes a problem. Like,
Well,
what
okay,
if-
let me. Yeah, Boot.
I was gonna say, what if this? Obviously, like I see this. Whenever I saw this, I went, okay, they're seeing that he's getting this heat, he's getting all this. They're like, let's put a belt on him and see what it does. And I think not to undermine the belts that are on NXT, but I went, let's put him down there, have him work with you know, guys that are coming up, guys that have, you know, like have him down there.
Probably more talent than him.
Well, well, if you're we always had a saying, if you're the best musician in the room, you got to find another room to be in. Like it's the
Fair.
same.
That's fair. Okay.
Iron sharpens iron.
It's the same thing, man. If you're the best in the room, get out of that room, find one where you're not. And so, like, he goes down there, he works with people that are arguably more talented than him, but they're putting the belt on him to go, all right, let's see how things go when he has a belt. How does he carry it? Does he keep improving his character, or does he collapse under the weight or stay stagnant where he's at? Because collapsing under the weight and staying stagnant is absolutely not a death knell, but it's like that's how you get shoved into the lower mid card and just mire there forever, Dolph Ziggler.
Yep.
The well, you know, they just that wasn't
lies,
that was
you're 100% right.
yeah. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Groaned.
And
I groaned. I didn't
Yeah.
say you were wrong.
It breaks my heart too, because you know, and
Yeah.
that's a whole nother discussion. But with this, maybe this is going to be one of those things where Judgment Day goes back up to Raw, and they look at Dom and say, "You run shit down here," and let him stand on his own 2 feet for a while, just for a little bit, to see how
Won't
he
work.
can handle himself on his own.
Well,
Or if I may recall you to about, I don't know, 10 summers ago or so, it probably wasn't long, when the NXT World title was on WWE programming very steady for about 2 months, and was even on pay-per-view whenever Kevin Owens was feuding with John Cena.
Yep.
I think that Dominic Mysterio having that belt on, big boy programming can only help the brand. I think that Dominic Mysterio's affiliation can only help the brand. I assume that they'll make some cursory appearances for NXT. I assume he'll make some defenses. He may even sneak out a victory in a triple threat match at the Great American Bash. Would not surprise me, because I think that they're and I mean, so let's delve into what Ransom said here a moment ago
what I said.
about the Judgment Day losing.
Oh yeah.
And yes, WrestleMania. WrestleMania was not their stellarest moment, but I think that we can agree that ever since Edge left the group, they've been getting a lot of airtime. They have been getting a lot of matches their way. And it sucks whenever you lose on the biggest stages of all, but whenever you're the heels, that's kind of your job. So I feel like there is
Roman
a
Reigns.
good chance. Yeah, or your Roman Reigns, right? I feel like there's a good to Midland chance
Midland.
that maybe, just maybe, we see a world title change at SummerSlam, and we see
Ooh.
Balor with the world title, Dominic with the North American, Rhea with the women's world, and then Priest with the case, and like Judgment Day. I think at that point you can't deny how present the Judgment Day is.
That is such a Charlie Brown like Halloween special thing. I have the North American. I got a North American belt. I got a women's title. I got a world title. I got a Rock. Like, that's
It's not wrong.
I mean, anyway.
Plus,
I mean,
it kind of hamstrings the whole like Money in the Bank briefcase if that were to happen, because you either
does it or does it make it more interesting?
I think it has. Well, it depends on how you look at it. I mean, if Finn Balor holds the world title, you're going to have a cash in and you're going to have a split up of the Judgment Day. Like, that's what's going to happen.
Maybe they
Maybe.
could.
Well,
No, they could have it like how they did before. Whenever Austin Theory cashed in, and Damian Priest could cash in on any
Gunther.
title. Yeah,
Yeah.
he could cash in on Gunther. He could cash in on the NXT title. I mean, it's who's to say?
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte Flair wasted a
Yeah.
Royal Rumble victory on the NXT title, so these things do happen.
okay.
I see your point.
I mean, I'm not saying that it 100% makes sense in them doing that, but it's the way that they could do it and make it work.
I feel like if they go this route, and they actually put the belt on Balor, which again I think is a 50% chance or better at this point. Given the reports that Rollins been working hurt, and he might get some time off to heal.
I can't wait to put all my points on Finn Balor at SummerSlam and lose.
I mean, obviously Triple H is a Balor guy. Triple H has been a Balor guy since fucking NXT sucked. So like,
No matter what Triple H is, Vince McMahon's still here.
it's true, but again, I think I don't know, man. Like I feel like a lot of that, and I get that we just talked about how disappointing Money in the Bank was, or rather, the winner of Money in the Bank. But I really feel like there's a lot more H influence here than we kind of are giving credit for.
Okay.
I do, because like, despite some questionable results at Mania, at Night of Champions, at Money in the Bank, all of those events have been tremendous, like top notch, better than the first 6 months of any year in WWE has been since the first digit was a 9. Well, the second digit was a 9. So like, I think that yes, absolutely, there is some Vince McMahon chicanery happening, but I really believe I see and I feel the winds of change here. I really do. The problem is,
Very
yeah,
subtle.
exactly. It's on the micro level right now. Like if you watch Raws or SmackDowns, NXTs, you see it. It's there and it's happening. It's just that like big events, and I'm sure that SummerSlam will be no different. I'm sure that some shit at SummerSlam's gonna go down to make us go, fucking Vince McMahon. But like, again, I think Triple H, and I like this idea, is kind of like building from the ground up. He's trying to fix all the fucking micro. He's trying to make a great base so that whenever fucking Vincezilla comes through and stomps WWE Tokyo, it's on a solid base and it's easy to be fixed.
I see what you're saying, and I do agree with that. I mean, and honestly, not to beat the dead horse, but until Vince is dead and gone, there's always going to be some sort of level
Wild card.
Yeah, there's always going to be some little tinkering behind the scenes, whether it's big picture or little picture or whatever. There's always going to be some sort of Vince fingerprint, and it's, I mean, you can't be surprised by that.
It's fucking disappointing too. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, all right.
100%.
Bottom line here is, though, yes, Dom is champion of the NXT North American champion, but I'm betting that there aren't a lot of people who could have told you who was the North American champion before he won.
Nope.
Well, how long had he held on to it?
When did West win that?
It was a while ago. It was a while ago.
Because he was the one to beat. He was the one to beat Carmelo Hayes, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And that would have been last fall, right?
Wasn't did he beat Carmelo Hayes, or was it something that Carmelo Hayes was injured, or it was
Oh no, Solo came in, won the title, and they vacated it. Yeah, okay, that was last.
Yeah,
that had to be last summer, because solo debuted at Clash at the Castle. Oh god, I'm still
Castle.
having trouble. Clash at the Castle
Castle.
last year, which was fucking like June, and
Because
then
whenever
won the North American title in like August or something. So
yeah, because whenever Wesley won it, he won it in that ladder match. And,
yes,
and Hayes was a part of it. It was
Yep.
him, Hayes, and God, I can't remember who else, but it was a banger of a fucking match.
absolutely. That's probably JD McDonough or Axiom or two. But yeah, man, like you know, I'm and no shade to Wesley. He's gonna have his fucking time. Don't you think for a minute that like they're valuing his loyalty, being that his two buddies are back in Impact together, and he's sticking around in NXT, you know, trying to make don't for a second think that they're not valuing that loyalty.
Did his old partner
Zachary Wentz, yeah, he's back on Impact. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. He came back a couple weeks ago and saved. Oh hell, what's the other fucking rascal's name? Trey Miguel. Saved Trey Miguel in like a showdown with the Guns. So yeah, he's back. And again, I'm fine with it because you know, I think that dude got the fucking wrong end of a railroad.
Yeah.
You know.
To touch on that real quick for those who may not be familiar or may have forgotten, he basically was let go because there was accusations of like spousal abuse or something like that.
Yeah, and well, that and his ex-girlfriend released a picture of him with a Hitler mustache. So, you know, I get it. I get it. Like the optics weren't great, and like you know, WWE has shown no tolerance for this in the past. Like fucking Enzo, it happened the same thing with him, where like a fucking woman was like, "Hey, this happened," and they were like, "Nope, you're gone."
Look at what's his name, Velveteen Dream.
Yeah,
too.
right.
Now,
Dream. Yeah, there was a little bit more substantiation.
Yeah, look at Vince
Yeah.
McMahon. Oh, wait.
yeah, I know, right?
Well, I mean, you know,
Well, here's my biggest question with that was
Fuck, Ransom.
the accusations that were against
Zachary Wentz.
that were against Zachary Wentz. Yeah, was anything founded of that?
I don't think so.
No, and-
it was basically he said, she said, and like everybody's like, no, that
Yeah.
his girlfriend's crazy. Like MJF came out in support of Zachary Wentz. MJF broke character to be like, listen, I'm Jewish. This man is like a great dude and one of my best friends. So yeah, I mean, if I'm supporting him, for fuck's sake, get off your fucking high horses, you dumb cunts.
And that's the thing that's fucking crazy is that like that's crazy. And there's always that quick judgment, that quick, I can't believe I'm using this term, that quick cancellation with no substantiation. And
Hi, welcome to 2023.
But then that's a whole nother conversation.
That's the way the world is now.
But but then the thing is, you would think that whenever there's enough evidence, there's nothing saying, no, this is unfounded, this is not true, this is hearsay on someone, that there would have been some kind of reciprocity or something. But then again, you're thinking, you're thinking of the company that sent the possessions of a legendary women's wrestler back to her in a trash bag. So, you know.
Trash bag company.
And I mean, you know, and like make no mistake about it. And I don't really want to get onto the Vince subject, but it seems like we're halfway there. So why the fuck not just jump in?
We took a dramatic shift from Dom to where
Sorry,
we are now.
I almost threw up.
The only reason that he's back where he is, and the only reason that he was welcomed back in, is because he held the fucking company hostage. He was like, "You're not gonna get shit done without me. I own the majority of shares. So if you want to fucking sell this company, it's gonna be through me, losers." So
pretty much.
And which sucks, but then the
conversation comes up: did they have to sell it? That's the question.
The thing is that like, as big of a fucking monster as he is, as out of touch as he is, as fucking crazy and unhinged as Vince McMahon is and has been for a long time, he earned that right with making this business what it is.
Yep.
By brutally stepping on everyone and killing the territories.
Hey
That's
man,
That's
what do you
fucking
think?
business.
What do you think? Fucking Apple and Google do to other technology companies, man?
Yep.
Like
Disney.
fucking Disney, exactly. Like this is just how business works. It sucks, but it is how it is. Vince McMahon took the initiative. He did it, and he's like, "This is mine." And he had every right in the world to do that, just like the board had every right in the world to say, "This is bad optics, man. We got to get you out of here. You're retired." He had just as big of a fucking, a realization to say, "Hey, this is mine, so I'm gonna do what I want. Fuck you guys."
Hey.
And both are right, and it sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, like Beef said, he's made it what it was today. What it has been today, because you think back long ago, he's been forward thinking for a long time, even though there's a lot of things he's out of touch with. But when it comes to the actual like business end of things,
Business acumen, yeah.
he's been very forward thinking, because it's just like whenever Ted Turner called him up and said, "Hey, I got in the wrestling business," he's like, "Well, good for you. I'm in the sports entertainment business.
Yeah,
You and I are on totally different planes, man."
yeah, exactly. And it's
So-
again, it sucks, and we don't agree with it. We don't agree with what he's done with it. We don't agree with where he's at. We don't agree with anything pretty much he's ever done ever. But
I don't agree with I don't agree with the direction of creative at times. That's for sure.
no,
but,
absolutely,
but
absolutely.
the fact that he's taken it and made it a worldwide brand, yeah. And when you have that kind of fuck you money, then yeah, it's hell of a lot easier to get away with allegedly doing or not doing shit than somebody who's fucking on NXT. Unfortunately, that's just the way shit rolls downhill.
Yep,
Fair,
New America.
fair.
Yeah.
All right,
But
yeah, I don't know.
so wait, is it time to talk about the Bloodline yet?
Yep. Bloodline segment. Everybody, welcome to the Bloodline segment.
All right, so listen, my only gripe about this is seeing the segments 2 times every week.
Yeah.
Or sometimes 3. Like you see it live on SmackDown, then they have a fucking replay segment of it on Raw.
Right.
And then the next week on SmackDown, sometimes they'll be like, "Let's see what happened last week." Like, okay.
Let's see
And
what
again,
happened 6 months ago with the Bloodline.
like I get it, like this is what wrestling does, like they recap stuff, but I mean, like this isn't like your 30-second recap. This isn't like a fucking like WrestleMania package where it's a big deal. This is like every week they're like, "And here's your Bloodline segment of the week," and it's like a fucking Sports Center segment almost. Like you can count it.
Of the week.
Or
It's like-
or
it's like-
or the
It's like whenever they used to, it's like Pet Boys presents the slam of the week.
or
It's
or
the
or, or,
Bloodline segment of the week.
or it's the AEW women's match every week. Like you can sit your fucking watch by it, then you know what's coming. Like, yes, okay, it's a big deal. I'm getting some belly rumblies because I'm getting all worked
some
up.
belly rumblies.
Good. I hope you poop your pants.
Keanu
But,
James on TV. Good lord.
He's gonna
But,
get so grumpy that he just sharts himself.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not grumpy. And like I said last week, I gave it its due. I said, hey, this Bloodline thing is going somewhere, and it's actually entertaining. So yeah, absolutely.
This- Beef goes, this Bloodline thing's a thing, and I'm watching it.
Yeah, exactly. It's working. I just don't want to see fucking like what an hour 2 weeks ago, an hour plus 2 weeks ago on SmackDown devoted to it, and then 30 minutes, and it's not actually a full 30 minutes on Raw, but you get my point. Like it's a bit much.
Right. I mean, especially the fact that we're more than likely going to have it carried out until WrestleMania. We don't need an hour a show. Like, spread it out a little. It's okay. Like we won't be upset if we don't get an hour and a half of fucking the Bloodline Mania, fucking every week on SmackDown. It's okay. We'll survive.
Here's the
I meant
grumble.
He just shuts down.
This was like a mini pivot off of that because I did read something interesting regarding what Tom was just talking about today. So, but what were you gonna say, Ransom?
Here's my only grumble that I'm gonna have with the upcoming Bloodline match. at SummerSlam. It's Jay versus Roman, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, look, I don't know. I can only assume the only time we're not going to get some sort of jiggery pokery, to quote the Bard,
Yeah.
in a Bloodline match is if Solo leaves Roman. Because you know damn well that in Jay versus Roman, Solo's going to come out, Jay's going to come out. And that's, I think that's my gripe now with the Bloodline, is that it's 90-10 on the jiggery pokery, run-ins, interruptions to straight up matches. Like, Solo's going to interfere. Jimmy's going to be there and interfere. Someone's going to interfere. It's not just going to be a straight up Jay versus Roman match because it's just not the way it's going to be. And if Jimmy down the road winds up facing Roman, it's going to be the same thing. Solo's going to be there. Jay's going to be there. It's not just going to be a straight up match. That's my complaint at this point in time now, here today with the Bloodline. Not the TV time that they get. I don't care about that. Not the fact that Roman Reigns is still walking around with 3 belts. Why? It's the fact that there's very little straight up one-on-one, no interference matches. It's like a Bloodline staple. Like Beef was talking about the NXT, the AEW women's matches. You could set your watch by it. You could set your watch by this. Jay versus Roman. You're going to see Jimmy. You're going to see Solo. There's going to be jiggery pokery. It's not just going to be winner or loser. It's just not.
But somehow it works and it's
Not for me.
intriguing.
I mean, the Bloodline storyline, it works. And if there was even a 50-50 to jiggery pokery versus straight shooting one-on-one match, if it was 50-50, fine. I'm fine with it. But it's not. It's 90-10.
But how big did then that pin on Roman from Jay, how big did that make it?
It made it huge.
It made it fucking gigantic. And yeah, like you're 100% right. It sucks to sit through bullshit defense after bullshit defense where Roman absolutely is on his last legs and he's going to lose and something always happens. I think maybe he gets over on Jimmy clean.
Jimmy or Jay? Which one?
Jay. My bad.
Yeah.
Jay. Because he needs every so often he needs to have a clean, strong victory.
Right.
He does, to make him look like the actual head of the table, the actual tribal chief, the actual most dominant wrestler in the company at the moment.
Mhm.
He needs to have clean wins. And
Sure.
I think that's why he doesn't seem that way to me. Sure, he's got all the belts that, he's got the entire rainbow menagerie of belts. But at the same time, he's not dominant. Like, he doesn't stand out like a Brock Lesnar to me. When Brock Lesnar had the belt, he was dominant. He would show up, wreck somebody, take a couple moves, sell him like, no one's business, because Brock Lesnar can sell a move, and beat him clean, he's out. But Roman doesn't look strong. Roman looks like he needs help because he wins 90% of his matches with help. And, this has been my problem with the Bloodline. A year ago, we were talking about this. Like, that's my issue, is the constant run-ins, the constant saves. He needs saving. All the time, he needs saving. And I think, the pin, when Jay pinned Roman clean, meant something huge. But I think, honestly, it would have meant a lot more if Roman dominated without the need for help most of the time. Sure, there could be some run-ins, like if, he goes up against a big heavy hitter, let's have a run-in, Have the Bloodline, just when you think like, oh, Kevin Owens is going to steal it, or oh, Seth Rollins is going to steal it, wham, Bloodline's there. But 90% of the time, if you have help, that makes you look like you need help. It makes you look weak. And I think it would mean more for someone to get a clean pin off of Roman if he was able to show up 90% of the time, wreck somebody on his own, stand in the ring with his finger pointing up in the air. He's the one. I'm the only one in the ring. I didn't need help from other people. I did it on my own.
I think that might be a progression of what's going on, because it was that way at the beginning, and as he goes along, you're seeing the character he had relied on the Bloodline for so long, and now that that's crumbling, it's the resting on his laurels. He's not leaning into his own talents. He's gotten soft. He's gotten, that kind of thing. Like that's how I kind of have been viewing it. That's how I've been seeing it.
I see it. I see it on the other side. I think that most of Roman Reigns' legwork was done as Universal Champion. That's when he made the declarative wins. That's when he made the big time wins. That's whenever he proved how dominant he was.
Before the Bloodline formed.
More or less, right. While it was forming.
Yeah,
and then,
once he had Jimmy and Jay together, that's when it all crumbled. That's when there was constant interruptions.
Right. But now it's more of a mafioso thing. And I think we've talked about it a little bit, why does the Don need to get his hands dirty? He doesn't. That's why he has underlings. Why does the head of the chief? What is head of the chief? Head of the table need to. You heard me. Head of the table, the tribal chief. Why does he need to get his hands dirty? He shouldn't have to.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I see what I see the point that you're making.
I agree. As viewers, it sucks.
Well, it's look at like you were saying, it's literally like a mafioso thing or whatever. Look at The Sopranos. Like after a certain point, Tony Soprano didn't need to get his hands dirty, but every once in a while, when shit really, got down to it, he did what he had to do because he, to make people realize, like, hey, don't forget this. I got here because I could do this and that or the other. And I agree. I agree with Ransom. Like, I would like to see a better ratio of strong wins. Coming from Roman, getting those decisive victories and not relying on the Bloodline. But to Beef's point, there's a reason why it was that way. Now that now that Bloodline has crumbled and literally all he has is Solo and Paul Heyman as a cheerleader, because let's be honest, Paul Heyman's not gonna get in there and get his hands dirty or anything like that. Paul Heyman's
been doing some fucking work though. Like his work with fucking Jay and Jimmy is fucking on point.
Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying,
Yeah, I got you.
Paul Heyman's not doing a run-in,
No,
but,
not a successful one anyway.
He would be doing a
Paul
waddle.
Heyman's not doing a run. Period.
He'd be doing a waddle in.
Yeah, exactly. But I think whoever said it, you have a good chance of Roman getting a good clean win on Jay. And the thing is since Jay pinned him, now, before, whenever they used to tease the whole is this the time that Roman's gonna get pinned, even though it didn't happen, they really made you believe. They made you believe with Cody, they made you believe with whoever, this, that, and the other. Now that he has been pinned, all bets are off. It's now anything really can happen, essentially.
Look, I want to counter the Mafia reference for a second. The Mafia reference would work if the Mafia reference would be appropriate and would work if the run-ins happened at the beginning of the match. Roman's walking down the ring. The Usos and Solo were with him. He sends them into the ring. Pummel. Then Roman gets in.
Did you call
That
them
makes
the
him look-
Usos?
Huh?
You called them the Usos?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Mafia Don-esque. Mafia Don-esque is not getting in the ring, almost losing your title, and having to be saved. Like, that's the opposite of being a Mafia Don. Mafia
I
Dons
disagree.
don't go in. Oh, absolutely it is. Mafia Dons don't go in to do a job, almost get, beaten down to a bloody pulp, almost get killed, and then their boys come racing in to save them.
Right,
No.
but whenever
He
right, but
sends
whenever
the
the
boys
bullets
in to do his dirty work, and then he comes in and plays cleanup and goes, see?
and
I'm the
yeah,
boss.
that's a point as well. But like when the bullets are flying, absolutely the fucking underlings are jumping in front of bullets to save the Dawn. Like that's how that fucking shit happens. That's why you surround yourself with underlings, so that you have people that can take the fucking bullets.
Yeah,
again,
but
like,
no.
I get it.
Like, he looks
As a
weaker than he
consumer,
does a Mafia
yeah,
Don.
I as a consumer, I get it. But I also understand what they're going for. And honestly, before I saw Jey Uso pin Roman Reigns, I would have absolutely agreed with you 110%. But the minute that Jey Uso pinned Roman Reigns, I was like, holy fuck. Like, fucking, I swear to God, the world stood still for a minute. And I was like, what just happened?
Huh.
Like, it was a big fucking deal.
It wasn't Undertaker got pinned at WrestleMania, like, shock,
It was in the ballpark. It was in the ballpark.
It had this.
It had
a
weight to it.
similar feeling.
I think we all collectively at once, wherever we were, went, wow.
Yeah.
I reacted. I'm not gonna lie. I reacted more in the moment when that happened than I did with the Undertaker. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like it's they're not quite on the same level, but they're in the same.
Bumping up. They're bumping elbows every so often.
They're in the same. It's I wouldn't even say maybe not necessarily in the same ballpark, but it's definitely in the same sport.
I just feel like it's one of those things, whenever someone, a fucking courtship, like whenever you hear no so often it sucks, and then eventually when you get the big yes, it's such a big fucking deal, and it's wonderful because of the anticipation. And yeah,
You know what? I can testify to that. I really can.
3 years of blue ball sucks, absolutely. But my God,
it's like
Someone cut him off
to
before
tell
he
you-
finishes that analogy.
No, because I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna finish. What happened at Money in the Bank was like the pre. At WrestleMania 40, when he loses to Cody Rhodes, it's gonna be orgasmic.
Cumsies. It's like getting your chair kicked while you're sleeping. Then it's like getting Mountain Dew spilled all over your shoes. And then finally, you get a roommate you can bond with forever.
The best friend in your life, my friend. The best friend in your life. I get it. And again, like, and this is like the axiomatic fucking thing with wrestling fans. We're like, we want long-term storytelling. And then they give us a big fucking 3-year-long thing. We're like, why does Roman Reigns always have to have interference? Why can't he just lose clean for once? Fuck, what are you guys doing up there?
No, I don't think. No, okay, look, no.
That was just silly.
You put me in that voice.
No.
And I don't.
I'm not saying Ransom.
I'm fine with long-term storytelling. The run-ins have nothing to do with long story. I'm fine with him winning. He needs to win more on his own. That's my problem. It has nothing to do with long-term storytelling.
I agree. And here's another
the fucking chuckle fuck voice, and I don't like it.
chuckle fuck.
No, not the chuckle fuck.
It wasn't the fucking Ransom. That wasn't a voice for you. That was a voice for the fucking internet community, because like everybody kind of feels that way. And here's the other side. That's right. There's a third side of this coin. Everybody fucking loves what MJF's been doing with the title, right? Everybody loves MJF as a fucking champion. He's had 2 defenses in almost a year, and both of them he's won by like dirty deeds.
Mhm.
So like,
Dean Ambrose.
I get it.
Yes.
but it works for him. And honestly, again, I don't know at what point this fucking clicked on for me, and it might click off again in the next 6 months. Who knows? But
No.
like right now, like I get Roman Reigns. I understand why they're doing what they're doing. I understand why Cody lost at WrestleMania. Only
What?
to make next year. I know. Only to make next year sweeter.
I gotta sit down. I'm gonna faint.
All right.
So
Okay.
let me
all right.
let me pivot to that, because we've all been making
Pivot!
assumptions. Pivot that
I want it noted that I was not the one that made the reference.
I was just gonna make a sitcom reference. Anyway, I saw it
Appreciate
today.
you restraining
and
yourself, Tom.
I don't. Jeez, man, he's just fucking the
This is
man
your
being
fault.
unleashed.
This is your fault. Why am I echoing?
Anyway, we're way off track. So I read something, and I don't know.
Fucking echoing.
This feels very baseless.
Yeah.
I don't know where it came from.
I'm
There were no
checking
like
the echo.
reporting, what have you. But I read that the plan was for Roman Reigns to hold the title to WrestleMania 40, which I think we've all kind of talked about, and that he's gonna lose to Cody, which again we've all kind of talked about. But Cody Rhodes is not going to win the Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes is instead going to win the Elimination Chamber to become #1 contender for the WWE Championship. And apparently the Royal Rumble winner would get, the world title.
Oh.
Now, whether that be, Rollins coming back to dethrone Balor after half a year, whether it be Gunther or fucking LA Knight,
Oh.
and honestly, I kind of like it that way, because it gives us a little bit of a spice to it, like
It's more
not
of a
just
surprise.
it is. It's not just a foregone conclusion that Cody's gonna win. And again, it may absolutely just be fucking baseless, or some jag off behind the keyboard was like, I'm gonna write this down and see what happens. I'm not even a member of the group. You know how Facebook does that, where it's like, hey, I see you like wrestling. Here's 87 fucking groups that you may like, but you'll probably hate. So I saw that there, and I was like, okay, that's worth, at least mentioning, even in the scope of like fantasy booking. Like, what if? I honestly think that's a perfect fucking scenario where you don't have Cody win a second year in a row, although I think he could. I think he would absolutely be okay winning the Rumble a second year in a row, but I'd be happier with him going through the Elimination Chamber. It's a tougher road to get there, I think, because obviously that means that he would be in the Rumble, fail to win, and then have to have the whole Shawn Michaels fucking moment, like, what the fuck am I gonna do? How am I gonna make this happen? How do I complete this dream?
Look,
Yeah.
Well-
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna go in a circle. Go ahead.
I would be happier if they did that way.
Mhm.
I didn't not enjoy the Royal Rumble this year, but the Royal Rumble matches that I enjoy the most are when somebody wins that I didn't really expect to win. I like those Royal Rumble matches the best, because you're a little taken aback, you're a little in shock at the end.
That's how we get
This
like
year-
a Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This year I didn't like. I liked the Royal Rumble. I did. I had no problems with it. There was no shock and awe for me at the end. Like when Cody Rhodes won it, it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what all of us bet on. I don't remember back, but like, Yeah.
I think he was probably in our top 4. And for me personally, I think the last time I was really shocked was whenever Edge went tape to tape.
Yeah.
So
I would be pleased with that, because if it starts to get towards Royal Rumble season and Cody Rhodes is making his murmurs about the WWE Championship, World, Universe, Galactic, whatever, something different.
Castle Grayskull Championship.
Yeah, the Taskmaster face butter. Oh, hang on. Shoot. No, I got it back. Like if he starts making his rumblings again, I don't want him to win the Royal Rumble, because if he wins it a second year in a row, that's another year. Again, the Royal Rumble match and the entire event could be great, but that'll be another year where, like, at the end, someone's pointing towards the sign, the fireworks going off, and you're like, well, called that. It's not a bad thing, but I like more to be surprised by the winner. And if they plan on having Cody Rhodes do something in Elimination Chamber to get that chance at the WWE title, and the person who wins the Royal Rumble goes after the World Heavyweight Championship, maybe it'll catch us by surprise. Maybe somebody will win that match where we're like, oh, didn't expect that. That's fun.
Agreed.
Fun.
I like it. Fun. We'll see. I just, maybe I'm weird since we're talking about the Rumble. I look forward to the Rumble more so than I do to Mania, because Mania, I look forward to the weekend of hanging out and watching wrestling and seeing all the indie stuff and all that. And then it's like, oh, cool, WrestleMania. But like my favorite is the Rumble. The Rumble is it. That is it.
Same. Yep.
Like, I love it. Absolutely love it. And I like it. And it's one of those things, like, going into it and being like, okay. Is it going to be good? It's going to be good. It's good. It's trash.
Oh.
Like, I hate it whenever you get to that and you have a surprise winner, but you're like, okay, how are they going to get themselves out of this fucking nonsense? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm kind of.
No, I feel you. I love the Rumble the same way that I love Mania. Honestly, kind of the same way that I love SummerSlam. All in different, like, facets, though. Because they're all a different type of, like, excitement, I think. Rumble is like, where fucking hope springs eternal. WrestleMania, I think, is where you want to see, the big fucking payoffs. And SummerSlam is home to a lot of bangers. So, like, yeah, they're all pretty different and pretty exciting to me.
Kitchen witches.
What the fuck just happened?
Don't worry about it. It's fine. Just
Sound
keep going.
Trip over that dollhouse boot?
It sounds like a fucking ladle dropped on Poot's fucking bald dome.
Don't worry about it.
It was perfect. It was perfect timing because everybody's bringing out weapons against one another on NXT, and I'm like, what the fuck?
So we've been talking. Do we want to split C? Do a second episode? Are we gonna keep talking?
Yeah.
Split it. Yeah.
Poot, you know what time it is.
It's time for burrito. I had one for lunch. It was good. And I am fucking man, all I have to do is look at people and go, I had a sandwich, it was good. And I get laughs, I'm in on that. Thanks everybody, bye.
Shut it off.